The siege of Leningrad was a military blockade undertaken by the Axis powers against the city of Leningrad in the Soviet Union on the Eastern Front of World War II from 1941 to 1944. Leningrad, the country's second largest city, was besieged by Germany and Finland for 872 days, but never captured. In August 1941, Germany's Army Group North reached the suburbs of Leningrad as Finnish forces moved to encircle the city from the north. Land routes from Leningrad to the rest of the Soviet Union were cut on September 8, 1941, beginning the siege. The Germans decided to bomb the city rather than attempt to capture it. Many residents starved during the winter of 1941 to 1942. Supplies were delivered to city by air, by ship over Lake Ladoga, or over the Road of Life, a highway built on the lake when it was frozen. A Red Army offensive opened a narrow land corridor to Leningrad on January 18, 1943, but the siege was not fully broken until 27 January 1944. Army Group North under Field Marshal Wilhelm Ritter von Leeb advanced to Leningrad, its primary objective. By early August, Army Group North was seriously overextended, having advanced on a widening front and dispersed its forces on several axes of advance. Leeb estimated he needed 35 divisions for all of his tasks, while he only had 26. The attack resumed on August 10 but immediately encountered strong opposition around Luga. Elsewhere, Leeb's forces were able to take Kingisepp and Narva on August 17. The army group reached Chadovo on August 20, severing the rail link between Leningrad and Moscow. Tallinn was captured on August 28. Finnish military forces were north of Leningrad, while German forces occupied territories to the south. Both German and Finnish forces had the goal of encircling Leningrad and maintaining the siege perimeter, thus cutting off all communication with the city and preventing the defenders from receiving any supplies. The 4th Panzer Group from East Prussia took Pskov following a swift advance and reached Novgorod by August 16. After the capture of Novgorod, General Hoepner's 4th Panzer Group continued its progress towards Leningrad. However, the 18th Army, despite some 350,000 men lagging behind, forced its way to Ostrov and Pskov after the Soviet troops of the Northwestern Front retreated towards Leningrad. On July 10, both Ostrov and Pskov were captured and the 18th Army reached Narva and Kingisepp, from where advance toward Leningrad continued from the Luga River line. This had the effect of creating siege positions from the Gulf of Finland to Lake Ladoga, with the eventual aim of isolating Leningrad from all directions. The Finnish army was then expected to advance along the eastern shore of Lake Ladoga. The last rail connection to Leningrad was cut on August 30, when the German forces reached the river Neva. In early September, Leeb was confident Leningrad was about to fall. Having received reports on the evacuation of civilians and industrial goods, Leeb and the OKH believed the Red Army was preparing to abandon the city. Consequently, on September 5, he received new orders, including the destruction of the Red Army forces around the city. By September 15, Panzer Group 4 was to be transferred to Army Group Center so it could participate in a renewed offensive towards Moscow. The expected surrender did not materialize, although the renewed German offensive cut off the city by September 8. Lacking sufficient strength for major operations, Leeb had to accept the army group might not be able to take the city, although hard fighting continued along his front throughout October and November. On August 6, Hitler repeated his order: Leningrad first, Donetsk Basin second, Moscow third. Arctic convoys using the Northern Sea Route delivered American Lend-Lease and British food and war material supplies to the Murmansk railhead, as well as several other locations in Lapland.